Hello and welcome back to this new section. In this section, we will talk about group policies and implement a couple of them in our environment. Group policies are a feature of Microsoft Windows Active Directory that allows for additional control of user and computer accounts. It provides centralized management of operating systems, applications, and user settings in an Active Directory domain. A set of user and computer settings is referred to as a group policy object. The version of group policy, called local group policy, allows group policy object management without Active Directory on standalone computers. Policy settings are modified using the Microsoft Management Console snap-in for group policies. Let's take a look at group policies on our server. Go to Start menu and start typing group. Click on Group Policy Management and there you have it. This is the console to manage group policies. Let's go ahead and drill down. We have our forest here, then our domain, below that are our organizational units. Notice this folder here, Group Policy Objects. By default, there are two group policies already created. One is linked to the entire domain and applies to all users and computers in our environment. The other is linked only to domain controllers. With GPOs you can enforce password complexity to prevent users from using passwords that are too simple, block access to the command line, restrict access to certain folders, change the background image and a lot of other things. By default, group policies are updated every 90 to 120 minutes, or when a PC is rebooted. Some settings are applied only during startup or logon, such as drive mappings or automated software installation. Users can manually refresh group policy by executing the update command in the command prompt. Group policy objects are processed in the following order. Local group policies are processed first. You can have local group policies even on a standalone computer. Next level is group policies associated with the Active Directory site where the computer is located. In our environment, we only have one site, but if you had multiple geographical locations or networks, you could set up multiple Active Directory sites and apply different GPOs to them. After that, group policies linked to the domain get processed. Our Active Directory consists of only one domain, so if we wanted to create a GPO that must apply to everyone, this would be a good place to link it to. At the lowest level are GPOs associated with organizational units. This means that a GPO linked to an organizational unit will be processed last and will potentially override settings of another GPO higher up in the hierarchy. Let's create a GPO that enforces password length for all users in our domain. Right-click on the domain, click on Create a GPO in this domain and link it here. Let's give it a name and click OK. Now we have to modify the settings of this GPO. Right-click on it and select Edit. We have to drill down to the setting we need to change. Under Computer Configuration, go to Policies, then Windows Settings, Security Settings, Account Policies. Inside Account Policies, go to the Password policy. Since we want to change the minimum password length, double-click on that policy, click on this checkbox and I will set my minimum password length to 8 characters, then click Apply and OK. Now, let's find out if this GPO has been applied to our Windows 11 computer. Let's log in as Alex Stark, a member of the IT department, and check. I will first run a command line window as administrator to make Alex a local administrator so he can view both user and computer settings of applied group policies. Without that, you will only see user settings. Now type gp result/r and press enter. Let's scroll up and see what GPOs have been applied to this computer. As you can see, only the default domain policy has been applied so far. As you already know, group policies by default are updated every 90 to 120 minutes. The fact that we don't see our newly created GPO here means that this PC has not updated its set of GPOs yet. Let's log out and log in again. The new GPO still has not been applied. Let's fix it by issuing the gp update/r command. Let's check again. Now we can verify that our new GPO has been successfully applied to this computer. Let's test it. We are going to attempt to change our password to something that is shorter than 8 characters. Apparently, I can't even type right. As you can see now, we are forced to have longer passwords. The last two things I wanted to show you this video is how you can block inheritance and enforce a GPO link. If you do not want to apply higher level GPOs to a certain organizational unit, you can block inheritance. Let's say that for whatever reason you don't want to apply the default domain policy to the members of your IT department. Let's first check the group policy inheritance on that OU. You have 2 GPOs applied to the users in this OU. In your group policy management snap-in, right-click on the OU for your IT department and select Block Inheritance. Now, on the Group Policy Inheritance tab, you will see that no GPO applies to that OU. In case you still want to apply selected high-level GPOs, you can enforce them, which will override the Block Inheritance property. Let's say we still want to apply our password complexity GPO to the members of our IT department. Right-click on the desired GPO and select Enforced. Then, click Refresh and check the Group Policy Inheritance tab of our IT organizational unit. As you can see, the password complexity GPO is now applied to this OU even though we have blocked inheritance. That is all for this video. I will see you in the next lesson where we will use a GPO to set a background image for computers in our domain.